Stay frosty and head over to easymutt.com for the cheapest mutt coins on the market. And when I say cheapest, I mean it. We're talking 1 million coins for around 40 bucks. Use code DIRECTOR for 5% off. Kia ora, brothers. What's up? It's the Director. Chargers fam. I think we're looking at the brand new offensive rookie of the year in Justin Herbert. After an epic performance versus the Chiefs in the season finale this last Sunday, boy, did Justin Herbert put on a show. If you guys can't tell, super tired. Stayed up really late working on a Justin Herbert hype trailer. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, definitely go give it a look, dudes. I put a lot of work into that one. I think you guys will enjoy it. And to everybody who's seen it already, thank you for the nice comments, man. It really turned out great. And the editing of that video is why today's video is a day late. But nonetheless, we have a recap video to go through in the Chiefs versus Chargers Week 17 game. What are some of the good and bad things that we saw in that game? Mostly good. But more importantly, what are things that were good going into 2021 and things that maybe we need to improve on? And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the new head coach thing because Anthony Lynn was fired yesterday. We'll also take a little peek at our draft situation as well. Before we do get rolling, guys, today's the day. I am officially opening up the giveaway for the Air Coryell jersey I currently have in my hands, and this thing is hot. On this jersey, you will find signatures by Wes Chandler, Kellen Winslow, and Charlie Joyner, three of the best Chargers of all time. And it does say Air Coryell on the back. I am giving this away to one of my crew members as a gesture of thanks in helping me get that program off the ground. All you gotta do to enter is be a member of my crew. You can find the join button underneath this video on the top right-hand side of my channel. There's also a link in the description if you can't find those. And again, guys, to everyone who's already joined, to everyone who's about to join, thank you so much for the support. It really means a lot in keeping this channel afloat. Now, if you're not a member of this channel, you're like, Director, I want to win stuff too. Don't worry, I'll be opening up another giveaway here in the next couple of weeks for this signed Keenan Allen jersey that is open to everybody. And to win this jersey, all you guys really got to do is be subscribed. There'll be a link, stuff like that coming up in the next couple of weeks. Again, guys, thank you to everybody for all your support. The Air Coryell jersey giveaway is going to close on Friday, January 29th. With that, guys, let's get into this video. Before we get started, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. A small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera, action. The Chargers Week 17 season finale post-game video. It's a little bit bittersweet. All in all, the Chargers are going to end the season 7-9, and honestly, it was a pretty nice push. 4 straight wins, division rivals in the last portion of our schedule, and we did see a lot of things that are trending the Chargers in the right direction going into 2021. Now, there's obvious things like, Anthony Lynn getting fired. We have, potential of hiring really big names like Brian Dable, Urban Meyer, etc. But first, I kind of want to focus on what I saw in this game that indicates good things going into 21 and things that we might need to be working on. So for that, let's jump into the box score. Of course, the Chargers defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 38-21, but keep in mind the Chiefs were resting most of their starters, so we did expect something like this to happen. Honestly, I think my prediction was 35-24, so wasn't too far off. Now, of course, we'll get back to Justin Herbert here in a minute. Obviously, another record-shattering week for him, but I wanted to feature some of the other players that maybe have potential going into next season with some momentum, or maybe the team has to look at some changes. First thing was Justin Jackson, 9 for 72, looked really, really nice in this game. I think he's in a contract year, so Chargers fans, I want to ask you, do you want to re-sign Justin Jackson? I'm not quite sure if it's this year or next year that he must be re-signed, but he looked pretty good out there. The one thing that does hinder him year in and year out is his injury status. And I guess the same question can be asked for Kalen Ballage as well. Do we keep him on the roster or do we cut him? Either way, pretty good outing by both backs. Now let's talk a little bit about our receivers. A big one here, Mike Williams. Now, I will remind you guys that the Chargers have already exercised the 5th-year option on Mike Williams' contract. So as of right now, he is signed into the 2021 season, be it on, I think it's like a $15 million one-year contract. So some Chargers fans are asking, should we trade him? Should we cut him? What's the situation there? My personal vote right now, without taking a look at too much of the data, is to keep him. Definitely want to keep some consistency for Justin Herbert going into his second year. But nonetheless, 6 receptions, 108 yards. yards and a touchdown for Mike Williams. He's certainly stepped up in the absence of Keenan Allen, who of course is on the COVID list. We wish him a speedy recovery. But this is one thing to definitely mull over going into the next season. Do we keep Mike Williams? Now, me again, I definitely want to keep him, but hopefully we see more production like this, and hopefully he doesn't get injured as often, because obviously that's been the biggest problem with him in the last few years since he was drafted. Next up, I do want to talk about our depth at tight end. Wow, guys. Steven Anderson and Donald Parham Jr. Talk about solid backups at the tight end position. Obviously, Hunter Henry not playing this game. Steven Anderson and Donald Parham definitely stepped up into that role. Donald Parham 37 and a touchdown, and then Anderson 3 for 52. Excellent plays by both of these players, and honestly, it gives me a lot of hope, or a lot of security going into next season as far as our tight end depth. I'm sure that we're going to be re-signing Hunter Henry, but if we don't, I still don't feel terrible about it. And honestly, I do want to re-sign Hunter Henry. I think that's going to be a priority, but really the depth that we're seeing here at tight end is looking really good for the Chargers. One thing I did want to point out, though, that's probably not on the great side of this game, was Jalen Guyton. 4 targets and 0 receptions. Now, I think a lot of Chargers fans understand what Jalen Guyton is, but here's a reminder. Jalen Guyton is like a 4-string wide receiver that honestly in a lot of teams might be on their practice squad. The big thing that he gives us an advantage on with his skill set is his speed. Very fast. So obviously we've seen a lot of that play well with Justin Herbert and his huge arms. A lot of 50-plus yard touchdowns to Jalen Guyton this season. But what was also put on display this week was the fact that Jalen Guyton is more of a depth piece, and that came through in his route running and obviously the dropped passes. And this is why I'm saying to Chargers fans, if the Chargers end up taking a wide receiver with the value pick in the first, second, or third round, don't freak out. I know we've used a lot of draft capital the last couple of years in the late rounds for wide receivers, but I do think if the value was there, the reason that we would do it is because of what we saw with Jalen Guyton this last week. He's a great piece when he's utilized the right way, going out deep, but when we needed him to convert on like third down, second downs, he just doesn't have the hands for it, unfortunately. And a guy, I'll mention this, a guy that's kind of on my radar now. I'm starting to get into draft mode, looking into different guys. Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn just declared, I think yesterday, and this guy would be an excellent fit for the Chargers. I think he's pegged as one of the fastest wide receivers in the draft, and honestly, he would be a huge upgrade over Guyton, so that's a guy to consider. And I want you guys in the comment section to drop names down below for wide receivers we can target, maybe outside of the first round this upcoming April, especially names that maybe are not on my radar, and especially names of wide receivers that would be exceptional in their speed. Because of course, we want to utilize Justin Herbert's big arm as much as possible. A couple more things to note from this game. In the receiving game, Austin Eckler featured 6 receptions for 33 yards and a touchdown. This is exactly what I wanted to see going into next season. I want to see Eckler on average 6 receptions a game, and honestly, 6 receptions on 7 targets. He does not drop very many balls. So I'm very excited to see Austin Eckler utilized into the system next season. Hopefully the new head coach will understand how to utilize him more like a Christian McCaffrey rather than a Derrick Henry like we've seen in the last few games. On defense, though, man, what a game for the Chargers. I mean, again, we're going up against second and third, fourth stringers, whatever, but Denzel Perryman came back, showed up. He's another one of those guys that we have to ask ourselves, do we want to re-sign him? Do we replace him with Kenneth Murray? But honestly, he's really grown on me. I hope that if we can get him on a cheaper contract due to his injury, that he stays on the roster. The guy's a thumper, and he had probably his most healthy year of his career so far. Also, I do need to point out Nasir Adderley. Now, he did have a couple of plays in the secondary, but the biggest one I want to note here is just one play. Nasir Adderley, he returned 1 kick for 18 yards. This is kind of like, I don't know, it feels so Chargers, right? To find a guy like, man, he's not really living up to his potential, what do we do? And then they kind of find a spot on the roster where he does shine, and that is at returner. So honestly, we found a place on the roster for Nasir Adderley, and that kind of buys him some time to get better playing out deep. But for now, man, like, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing on him with special teams. Next up, let's give a little nod to our guy, Isaac Rochelle. Let me see if I can find him. There he is right here. Isaac Rochelle, of course, in contention for the Walter Payton Man of the Year. If you guys haven't retweeted stuff on Twitter and things like that, voting for Walter Payton Man of the Year, Isaac Rochelle, go do so right away. Isaac Rochelle, 2 tackles, but one of them was for a sack, which was, of course, was in the end zone of the Chiefs, which did result in a safety. And I think that was like the first safety the Chargers have had in a very long time. I don't remember remember the actual stat, but I think it was like 2014 or something like that. So good for Isaac Rochelle, man. Definitely stepped up. He said his secret weapon, his secret in making this happen was that he wore Joey Bosa's cleats, which were game worn. If you ever see those cleats on eBay or something and you want superpowers, definitely jump in on that. Finally, guys, it's time to talk a little bit about Justin Herbert. Okay, all right, Justin Herbert. I'm probably going to put Rookie of the Year somewhere in this title. He did a couple of incredible things last week. I'm not going to name all the records that he broke because you can find a lot of those on the hype video that I put together and released this morning. But a couple of notable ones was that he did extend his lead for most touchdowns in a rookie season to 31. It was previously 28, or I think 28, and now 31. I think it was actually 27. So he definitely rose the bar quite a bit with this last game. And also keep in mind, he did get a rushing score. That rushing score actually did help him break another record, and that was Cam Newton's total touchdown record previously held however many years ago at 35. Justin Herbert currently now has 36 touchdowns. So honestly, guys, when it comes to the resume of Justin Herbert, he beat pretty much every record there is to beat in the book. All for one. And honestly, I know this is probably the one sour feeling that all Chargers fans felt at the end of this game. Justin Herbert did indeed fall, I think, 39 yards short of Andrew Luck's all-time passing yardage record for a rookie. And he got so close. I think the reason a lot of Chargers fans were butthurt and, upset about this is because there was definitely an opportunity to make this happen. And I think Coach Anthony Lynn just decided that he wanted to get out of that game. He was done. He was packing it in. Even though he only needed 39 yards, there was a couple of drives to do something with that and get those 39 yards. Anthony Lynn decided against it. And I think that left a sour taste in a lot of Chargers mouths when it comes to Anthony Lynn. So a lot of people were praising on Monday when it came to the firing of Coach Anthony Lynn. So I do want to mention, though, guys, it happened, okay? Coach Anthony Lynn is gone. But I do think he deserves our respect as Chargers fans. And no, we had our ups and downs as fans with Anthony Lynn. But at the same time, there's no denying that this man loved his football team. And as a human being, Anthony Lynn deserves our respect. He kind of reminds me of those coaches that you'll meet in high school that really get involved with his youth and make a difference in their lives long term. He's the kind of guy I'd have a beer with. He's the kind of human being that I would look up to. So thank you to Coach Anthony Lynn for everything you did for this team. Obviously, it was in a mutual interest for us to separate, him and the Chargers, but still I wish him a lot of success wherever he ends up. And honestly, he's a hell of a running backs coach. I think he could do wonders for another team that's struggling in that department. Now, that being said, the Chargers have some work to do in hiring a new head coach. I pulled up a buddy of mine here on Twitter, Tyler Schoen. He put together an awesome tweet here. The coach candidates that have been interviewed, he ranked them. Brian DeBall has been interviewed, Arthur Smith, Matt Uberflis, Eric Bieniemy, Joe Brady, Brandon Staley, and then of course he put in, me and Easter Bunny and Anthony Lynn, Robert Kraft, masseuse, and of course Jason Garrett, which had a lot of Chargers fans freaking out. Maybe that's just a formality, I don't know. And then more recently, there has been a lot of speculation on Twitter that the Chargers have heavy interest in Urban Meyer, who has yet to be interviewed as far as what I'm reading this right now in the time of recording. And then also Robert Saleh has been requested for an interview as well. So the Chargers have a lot of options coming out of Black Monday. And honestly, guys, I think if the Chargers nail this, if the Chargers there's so many guys I would be happy with. Arthur Smith, Brian Dable, Eric Bieniemy, Robert Saleh, even Urban Meyer, perhaps even a Bill Belichick. There's a lot of ways for the Chargers to win this. We just can't end up with a nobody. We can't end up with an offensive coordinator like, wow, he's got a great personality, but I want a big name. And I think that's what the Chargers are targeting right now. So be excited about that. As news continues to break, I'll put out more videos and going over my thoughts on who we decide to pick ultimately. Maybe I'll do one for my favorites of the ones that have been interviewed so far, depending on how long this process takes. The last thing that I did want to go over is the draft. Now, of course, the Chargers improving their record to 7-9 did drop us as far as our draft stock coming into April. But honestly, guys, it's still a pretty high pick and it's still a very good spot. In talking about a new Chargers head coach, they're getting, Justin Herbert. A lot of guys signed for multiple years in Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, etc. But they're also going to have the 13th overall pick to work with, and this is finalized. This is it. This is lucky number 13. Keenan Allen's number is what we have to work with going into April. Lots of mock drafts and stuff are about about to start flooding this channel, I'm sure the rest of YouTube. And honestly, this is a pretty good pick. A lot of mock drafts that I've been looking into, mock drafts that I've done myself, you'd be surprised how many quarterbacks, get picked up in the top 10. And obviously, in a quarterback-heavy season, a lot of, teams are going to be trading up into the top 10 trying to get their guy of the future. But the positive consequence of that for the Chargers is that good players are inevitably going to fall. A lot of people thought that Penei Sewell was a lock at number 3. And obviously, Miami, they could definitely go with that. But there are chances that he falls down to like even 5 or 8 or even 9. And that just kind of tells a story of the kind of players that could fall to the Chargers at 13. I don't think Penei Sewell falls to us, but there could be pretty big names like Jalen Waddle, Gregory Rousseau, and even Kwity Paye. So the Chargers in a really, really good spot right now with the 13th overall pick. Another question I'll ask you guys to answer in the comment section below is, who do you hope falls to us at the number 13 pick? In a perfect world, it could even be Penei Sewell. As unlikely as that is, let me know who you would like to pick up with the 13th overall pick, because honestly, it's pretty good capital to work with, and I'm sure our future head coach and Tom Telesco are going to have fun working with that one. Well, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. The season finale of the post-game reports. This has been an epic season. I don't think I even started doing like the live streams and stuff until maybe like week 11 or 12. And honestly, you guys have really changed the way my Chargers season is experienced. Like, I didn't think it'd get any more exciting. You guys absolutely killed it by showing up, creating a community out here on YouTube, and honestly just putting a lot of awesome people together in the same room. It's really been a great ride, man. I covered all 17 games as far as pre and post game shows. That was kind of something that you guys requested from me to start, and it turned into an amazing series. So what I'm asking of you guys as well is I'm encouraging your input. I'm encouraging your ideas. Always post them, guys. I know there's so many comments that I can't get to all of them, and sometimes I don't even see them, but be persistent, because your guys' ideas and inputs really help run this channel. It's really a channel that I like to think is ran by the fans as much as it's ran by me. I just come in there and make things look good. But the community, the ideas, the emotions, the heart of this Chargers fam, this Chargers community that we've assembled is really the heart and soul of this channel. And for that, as we wind down the 2020-2021 season, I have to say thank you, Bolt fam. You guys seriously showed up and made this channel possible, and I couldn't be more grateful. Well, guys, with all of that, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out if you did enjoy this content. This is the season finale, the post-game videos. Very excited to get into the September season and get back into this. But till then, guys, we got mock drafts, we got free agents, we got new head coaches, a lot of stuff going into the off season. And honestly, sometimes I feel like the off-season stuff's almost more fun than the actual in-season stuff. The preparation, the things that could be, the theories, the speculation. Oh my God, it's so much fun. I cannot wait to take that journey with you guys as well, and especially the mock drafts. Oh, I'm so excited to get into those mock drafts. Again, leave your prospects for wide receivers. Leave your prospects for like second, third, fourth round guys for me to look into. I'm in tape watching mode, and it's going to be a lot of fun leading up to April. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty.